already in the hands of 350 million Chinese.
What is the most stupid mistake you've made investing in crypto? We never expected that not to be true.
Today, former CFTC chairman Chris Giancarlo will explain the importance of exploring and researching a digital dollar. Raoul Pal is going to tell us what blockchain will be like in 10 years. And finally, Raoul Pal and Dan Moorhead discuss their biggest regret in crypto. This is the State of Crypto. Subscribe, and as always, hit the like button.
We want to make sure that the private sector has a place to go where they can begin this experiments. And maybe the US never deploys a central bank digital currency. Yes, China's digital currency is already in the hands of 350 million Chinese. Europe has said they will have a digital euro by 2025. So, is it foreseeable that the dollar remains an analog instrument in a digital future? I don't know. And should we be fearful of central bank digital currency? Not necessarily. Yes, China's digital yuan is a surveillance tool. That would be a terrible model to adopt here in a free society. And that's why we all in the private sector need to come together and say yes to innovation, but no to surveillance and censorship. And that's a balance we can get right. Those are only coding issues. Those are design features, right? If we design it right, it could be a tremendously empowering instrument. If we get privacy right in a digital dollar, we could make the digital dollar the aspirational currency for generations to come around the world. We could set the dollar up for global leadership for more generations to come. So for me, it's not a question so much of do we do it or don't we do it? It's a question of how do we do it? Let's do it right. Let's all come together now and get it right, as opposed to sit back and say, oh, no way, we don't want that. And then it happens anyway, and we've lost our opportunity to actually influence what it looks like.
Where do you see the crypto industry in 10 years, Raoul?
I don't think we'll think of it as the crypto industry, much like we don't think of the internet industry. It'll be so interwoven within the fabric of what we understand the internet to be today that we will start to be thinking about the metaverse integration of all of this. So it just becomes the layer on top of the internet. And we won't think of it in those terms. I'm not even sure we're using the terminology NFTs. Remember when we first had internet, we'd hear that sound of the dial-up modem. We never expected that not to be true, but it's not. You just don't know all this stuff. In the end, it just becomes integrated and part of stuff. We won't go, oh, that's built on blockchain, much like we don't say that's built in whatever code language. We don't know or care. So I don't think we'll care in the end. It'll just be. So that's when it's of massive size. You won't know that securities then settle instantaneously around the world 24/7, 365. You won't go, look, it's a cryptocurrency thing. No, it's just because we're using the technology. So think of it more of a technology that gets applied and, unlike other technologies, accrues value for everybody.
Next, Dan and Raoul talk about mistakes related to crypto. But before that, I would like to say that personally, my biggest mistake, crypto related, was not investing in Bitcoin when I first heard of it in 2012. But how about you guys? Let me know in the comments.
I like to, particularly in markets like this, give people learnings. What is the most stupid mistake you've made investing in crypto?
Honestly, selling anything. That is the thing to say at the lows here.
That's mine too.
It really, basically, there's a ton of things I wish I bought or, regret not doing or whatever. But the only deep regrets are ever, selling anything and thinking, oh, maybe, Bitcoin didn't work or that. Yeah. So to the extent, people have the financial and emotional resources to stay in the trade, you got to, because it is going to change the world. And that means, prices are going to be much higher in the long run.
That's exactly mine. I sat down and went through my crypto journey from 2013 when I first bought Bitcoin at 200. And when I sold it in 2017 at like 2,500, thought I was a god, went up to 20,000, came back down. I didn't care. Then Dan Tapiero kept bugging me. I got back in 2019, 2020, and sized up massively. And I went back and looked. If I just kept my original investment and not done all of this shit, trying to think I'm a great macro trader, I would have been much wealthier. And if I just bought the big dips with the same size investment to start with, that always looks really small when you add to it later, I'd have made 25x as much as I made. I'm like, it's the same thing. It's like, really, just keep hold of it.
Yeah, just view it as venture and try and put it away and look at it, 5 or 10 years from now.